The Mortal Kombat Tournament, a legendary contest of champions, a battle for the fate of realms. It is a tournament steeped in blood and glory. Since time immemorial, warriors have sought to prove their might in this deadly competition. The strongest and the most cunning converge on Earthrealm. They fight for the honor of their realms. They fight for their lives. Among the countless warriors drawn to the Mortal Kombat Tournament, some names inspire awe and terror in equal measure. Sub-Zero, the Grandmaster of the Lin Kuei, commands the power of ice. Scorpion, the resurrected Spectre, wields hellfire itself. These two legendary ninjas are rivals. Their paths have crossed many times. Each encounter is a clash for the ages. This year's tournament promised another epic showdown. The air crackled with anticipation. The crowd buzzed with excitement. Little did they know, a new combatant would soon join the fray. This combatant was ready to challenge these legendary warriors. In the shadowy depths of the Grave Realm, a new legend was being written. Khalil, the enigmatic leader of the Grave Realm Ninja Clan, had set his sights on the Mortal Kombat Tournament. He was drawn by the promise of challenge. He was eager to test his skills against the very best. The Colosseum of Outworld, a massive ancient structure of iron and stone. It has borne witness to countless battles. Today it would serve as the stage for another legendary confrontation. The air hummed with anticipation. The crowd, a cacophony of cheers and jeers, eagerly awaited the arrival of the combatants. High above the arena, in his throne of bone and skulls, Shao Kahn, the Emperor of Outworld, watched with keen interest. His eyes, cold and calculating, followed every move of the approaching warriors. Beside him, Princess Kitana observed the scene with quiet apprehension. The roar of the crowd intensified. Two figures emerged from the shadows, Sub-Zero and Scorpion. Their eyes met across the arena. A palpable wave of energy rippled through the Colosseum. The crowd held its breath. The battle was about to begin. Sub-Zero, clad in his blue ninja garb, exuded an aura of icy calm. His movements were fluid and precise. He was a master of the Lin Kuei's art of assassination. Every step he took seemed to leave a trail of frost in its wake. His eyes, cold and calculating, never left his opponent. He was ready to unleash the full fury of his ice powers. Opposite him stood Scorpion, a specter of vengeance consumed by hellfire. His yellow GI, a stark contrast to Sub-Zero's icy blue, crackled with the flames that fueled his rage. His skull-like mask couldn't hide the burning intensity of his gaze. He was a force of nature. He was fueled by an unquenchable thirst for vengeance. He was ready to unleash the full fury of the Netherrealm. The crowd erupted in a frenzy of cheers and screams as the two legendary ninjas faced off. This was the moment they had all been waiting for, a clash of titans, a battle between ice and fire. The rivalry between Sub-Zero and Scorpion was the stuff of legends. It was a conflict that transcended lifetimes. It was fueled by betrayal, vengeance, and the clash of two opposing forces. Their respective clans, the Lin Kuei and the Shirai Ryu, were once sworn enemies. Their history was mired in bloodshed and treachery. The battle began with lightning speed. Sub-Zero lunged forward, his hand crackling with icy energy. An ice blast shot across the arena, but Scorpion was too quick. He vanished in a puff of sulfurous smoke, reappearing behind Sub-Zero. His spear, engulfed in hellfire, lashed out. The crowd roared as the two ninjas exchanged blows. Ice shards clashed against fiery projectiles. Each attack was met with a swift and deadly counter. Neither warrior gave an inch. They were evenly matched. Their movements were a blur of motion. The battle raged on. Section 5, The Shadow Emerges. Khalil enters the fray. As the battle between Sub-Zero and Scorpion reached a fever pitch, a hush fell over the crowd.
Who is that?
I don't know, but he looks dangerous.
A new presence made itself known. A figure emerged from the shadows at the edge of the arena. Tall and cloaked in darkness, he moved with an unnerving grace.
I have come to seek a challenge.
Khalil, the leader of the Grave Realm Ninja Clan, had arrived. He watched the battle unfold with keen interest. His eyes, glowing with an otherworldly light, missed nothing.
Who is this?
Another warrior seeking his fate in Mortal Kombat.
He had come to the Mortal Kombat tournament seeking a challenge. He had found it in these two legendary warriors. The air crackled with anticipation. The crowd, sensing a shift in the tide of the battle, held its breath. Sub-Zero and Scorpion, their attention drawn to the newcomer, momentarily ceased their duel. They turned to face this new threat. Section 6. The Grave Realm's Might. Khalil's Deadly Skills. Khalil raised his hand, and a hush fell over the Colosseum. Even Shao Kahn leaned forward, intrigued by this unexpected turn of events. The newcomer moved with a fluid grace that belied a deadly power. He was a master of the Grave Realm's fighting arts. He was a force to be reckoned with.
I've watched your dance. Now face me both. Prove yourselves worthy of my time.
Khalil's voice, amplified by some unseen force, echoed through the arena. It was a voice that commanded attention. It was a voice that spoke of power and authority. The challenge hung heavy in the air. Sub-Zero and Scorpion exchanged wary glances. They had never faced an opponent like this before. They could sense the raw power emanating from Khalil. They knew that this was a battle that could tip the balance of the entire tournament. Section 7. A three-way standoff, tension grips the Colosseum. A tense silence gripped the Colosseum. The crowd, mesmerized by the unfolding drama, watched with bated breath. Three warriors, each a legend in their own right, stood at the precipice of a battle that would be spoken of for generations to come. The air crackled with anticipation.
You presume much, stranger. This battle is not yours to claim.
You will regret interfering. I will show you the true meaning of suffering.
We shall see.
The battle was on. Section 8. The Clash of Titans, a battle for the ages. The three ninjas clashed in a whirlwind of motion. Ice shards met fiery projectiles as Sub-Zero and Scorpion unleashed their full fury. But Khalil, moving with an almost supernatural speed, evaded their attacks with ease. He countered with a series of devastating strikes, drawing on the dark energy of the Grave Realm. The battle raged across the arena, a chaotic dance of death and destruction. The crowd roared, caught up in the frenzy of the fight. Even Shao Kahn, his usual bored expression replaced by a mask of intense interest, watched the spectacle unfold. Each ninja fought with their own unique style, their movements a blur of deadly grace. Sub-Zero, a master of precision and control, unleashed a barrage of ice attacks, seeking to encase his opponents in a tomb of frozen despair. Scorpion, fueled by his unquenchable rage, moved like a whirlwind of fire, his spear a deadly extension of his will. Khalil, drawing on the dark energies of the Grave Realm, moved with an almost supernatural speed, his attacks unpredictable and devastating. Section 9. A rivalry ignited, the future of the three ninjas. The battle raged on, each ninja refusing to yield. They were evenly matched, their skills tested to the limit. But as the fight wore on, it became clear that this was no ordinary contest. This was a clash of titans, a battle that would determine the fate of more than just the Mortal Kombat tournament. As quickly as it began, the battle reached a stalemate. The three ninjas, bruised and battered but still standing, faced each other across the ravaged arena. The crowd, stunned into silence, watched as the combatants disengaged. A single nod from Khalil was all it took. He vanished into the shadows, leaving Sub-Zero and Scorpion to contemplate the encounter. Their rivalry, once a simple matter of vengeance, had been irrevocably changed. A new player had entered the game. A new chapter had begun. The Mortal Kombat tournament raged on, but the memory of that battle lingered. The crowd, the warriors, even Shao Kahn himself, all knew that they had witnessed the beginning of a legendary rivalry. A rivalry that would shape the fate of realms. The intense rivalry between Khalil's Grave Realm ninja clan, Sub-Zero's Lin Kuei, and Scorpion's Shirai Ryu has become legendary. Documented in the books of the best feuds in ninja history, this rivalry has drawn the attention of powerful beings. Raiden, the fire god Liu Kang, the Grave Realm Council, and the ancient beings of the Grave Realm have ordered the feud to end. As the echoes of the monumental battle faded, a new tension gripped the realms. The skies darkened, and thunder roared as Raiden, the protector of Earthrealm, descended from the heavens. His presence was soon joined by the fire god Liu Kang, whose fiery aura illuminated the Colosseum. From the shadows emerged the Grave Realm Council and ancient beings whose power was felt by all. Raiden's voice boomed across the arena. This senseless feud must cease. The balance of the realms is at stake. Liu Kang added, "Your rivalry has drawn the attention of forces beyond your understanding. The Grave Realm Council demands an end to this conflict." The ancient beings of the Grave Realm, their forms shifting and ethereal, spoke in unison. The clash of the Grave Realm Ninja Clan, Lin Kuei and Shirai Ryu, must not continue. The fate of the realms depends on your unity. The three ninjas, Khalil, Sub-Zero, and Scorpion, stood in awe of the decree. They knew that defiance was not an option. The weight of their rivalry had brought them to this pivotal moment. Sub-Zero, breaking the silence, said, "We must find a way to coexist. The realms depend on it." Scorpion, his eyes still burning with vengeance, nodded reluctantly. "For the sake of our people and the balance of the realms." Khalil, his gaze unwavering, agreed. "A new path must be forged, one that honors our past but looks to the future." With the decree of the ancients, the arena fell silent. The crowd, witnessing this historic moment, cheered as the three ninjas set aside their differences. The rivalry that had once threatened the realms now held the promise of a new era of unity and strength. The Mortal Kombat tournament would continue, but with a renewed purpose. The memory of the legendary battle and the decree of the ancients would forever shape the destiny of the three ninjas and the realms they vowed to protect. The unification of the Grave Realm universe and the Mortal Kombat universe marked the beginning of a powerful alliance. Together, they would face new challenges, forging a shared destiny that would ensure the survival and prosperity of both realms.